Less than an hour to go. Welcome to a very special edition of City News here at 11 o'clock. We are live at the intersection of Robson and Granville here, just about ready to kiss 2020 goodbye and say hello to 2021. Now, we are here on Granville. This was the street we were taking a pretty close look at throughout the evening after all that party atmosphere we saw in October for Halloween. The big question was it going to be recreated here? And it looks like the answer is no. It's very quiet here all the way down the strip. It's pretty much the same scene. And this may have something to do with the weather. It's very different from what it was back in October. And now it's raining quite heavily. Now, there is a very different scene about a block away at the Vancouver Art Gallery. We're seeing a political demonstration there. Folks, essentially, they're singing, they're there in what looks like a party atmosphere, but then if you start looking towards the signs they're holding, they say things like no new normal, hugs instead of masks, and that has been going on now for a few hours and is still continuing to go fairly strong. And we did have a chance to speak with some folks here along the Granville Strip just to see, what they thought of 2020 and maybe what they're looking forward to as we get into 2021.
I mean, I think everybody's a little bit happy to say goodbye to 2020. Not what everybody kind of expected, obviously, and probably not the way we want to celebrate tonight. But yeah, I mean, always looking for a change.
You optimistic for 2021?
Got to be optimistic. Got to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely very quiet for Granville Street. I've lived here all my life, so to see it like this is pretty bizarre.
And honestly, to think, it's kind of a struggle for people, and I understand. But it's just, I want to move forward and I want to make sure that everyone is safe and we can get back to the normal situations that we used to have before this pandemic.
I wish to all British Columbians many a happy new year.
Now, again, this is a live look here on Granville Street as we get closer to midnight. Now, one thing that may also be playing a factor here, just how quiet it is not just the fact that it's a rainy day, but also liquor sales were cut off at 8 p.m. That was the case in liquor stores, grocery stores, as well as restaurants down here at the Strip, so no clubbing for folks. And Ashley Burr has a little bit more on what the industry feels about that.
We had lots of reservations with two people, we have reservations with families, and now we lost all those people.
It's so much more than putting down the martini shaker at 8 p.m. BC restaurant owners are shocked after getting almost 24 hours notice to end liquor sales earlier on New Year's Eve. Many say the newly adjusted last call is now causing them to cope with cancellation after cancellation on what typically would be one of their most profitable nights of the year.
It's in the process of coming to the restaurant with my liquor order, so if I had known half an hour before, I would have made different plans.
New Westminster restaurant owner Alejandro Diaz has had 40 reservations cancel since the new restriction was put in place Wednesday, a day before New Year's Eve. Liquor sales are banned in restaurants, bars, stores, and other establishments from 8 p.m. Thursday until Friday morning.
It's really difficult because if we had known earlier, we had made different plans, asked people to come earlier, focus more on takeout. It really is not that much the loss of revenue now. Now it's the additional expense that we were not expecting.
Don Falconer is the general manager at Living Room Restaurant and Bar in downtown Vancouver. He says about a third of his reservations had already canceled just hours after the order was made public.
All of the planning has already been done, and all of the money and the costs have been incurred already.
When asked about the last-minute change for New Year's Eve, Dr. Bonnie Henry suggested Thursday they'd been hinting at it for a while now.
Obviously signaling for some time about the issues around New Year's Eve and around the holiday season. So I don't think this came out of the blue in that respect. And the issue really is that later in the evening, when people are drinking a fair amount, we tend to see groups getting together and it being very difficult to maintain the COVID safety plans in those situations.
But Diaz suggests cutting liquor service off 2 hours early may only encourage people to break the rules and party at friends' homes.
I want to look for a different place to celebrate, so now I want to go to my friend's house, and then my friend's house could have like 4, 6, 8 more people, and then I think that is going to be worse than people having chance to celebrate New Year's with their family at the restaurant.
Liquor sales will resume in BC on New Year's Day at 9 a.m. In New Westminster, Ashley Burr, City News.